What is up, fishing world? Trevor Wagner coming back at you again. In today's episode, we're going to be doing a little birthday unboxing. That's right, just the other day, I turned the half-century mark. Yes, I've been on this planet for a half a century now, and my family went out and got me some cool stuff to help me along in my YouTube journey, my kayak fishing journey, and just having some fellowship with them on my birthday. So we're going to jump right in and show you what they got me, and then one of the things we're going to be putting together on camera here in a little bit. So let's just jump right in. So the first thing I want to show, my wife got me this to hang in my tackle room. This is really, really cool. I love this. For those of you that have watched my channel any or have followed me on social media, know that I'm an Army veteran and I support Heroes on the Water, to stop veteran suicide and all of that stuff. That's why I'm a real big proponent of Catch 22 with KBF. Very, very proud of the time that I served with my brothers and sisters in arms. So big, big support of that. My wife knows that. So she got this for me, which is super cool. So I get to hang this up on the wall somewhere, not really sure, maybe up here somewhere, behind my head. So that way it's always there, displayed proudly. So that was really, really cool. Now my boys, they decided to help me out on the YouTube side of things. So my older son, Alex, went out and said, "Dad, I know you record through GoPro. Let me get you something." So he went out and got me a 4K camera that I can start recording with off of my laptop and stuff like that, because the laptop camera is not that good. So he went out and got me a 4K camera to use. So super, super cool. I'll be recording with that. The GoPro's fine. I don't mind the GoPro. But now I'll be able to record in 4K. So that's really, really cool. Glad to see that. I just don't know if you want to see all the wrinkles and the gray hairs with the 4K, but who knows. And then Roland, my other son, he went out and said, "All right, let's get Dad a nice little microphone." So they went out and got me a podcasting microphone. So that way I can record some good audio. I think the audio's good. My wife thinks the audio is good. You guys haven't complained about the audio, but it could always be improved. So they went out and got me a nice little microphone set for podcasting. So now I have that nice little cool podcast microphone that I'll be able to use. Again, one step closer to me doing some live streams. So really super, super cool. Super happy with that. It's really going to help the channel as far as the quality of audio and video that I'll be able to produce. So really, really happy. Really, really proud of those boys for everything they've done in life and, sharing with Dad. So very, very cool. Next, my daughter, she went out and got me something that I've really wanted, and that is the Nakawa power bank. This is that little small one that you can carry around. Comes in I've already opened this one up because it's so cool. But again, nice little tiny little micro. This thing is pretty small. Power bank to take on the water, so that way I can actually power the GoPros with this guy when I'm out on the water. And it's pretty small. It's pretty lightweight. It's not like a regular battery. And that is a 10,000 amp hour little power bank. How freaking cool is that? So really, really happy. Really, really cool thing that I'll be able to record stuff out on the water. Not have to worry about batteries. I could just hook it up to this and be good when I'm out on the water. So really, really happy about that. And then last but not least, the gift that my wife got me as well. And this, oh yeah, the BlackPak Pro. That's right. No more fishing crate. I've used a fishing crate in kayak fishing since I started. When did we get my kayaks? 2021, I do believe, is when I started getting into kayak fishing. And I've been using a fishing crate since then, but now I got the upgrade. That's right. I got the BlackPak Pro. And along with that, they decided, it comes with 4 rod holders, and they got me 4 more rod holders. So now when I'm out kayak fishing, I'll be able to carry 8 rods with me out on that kayak instead of, I've been carrying 6, off of that fishing crate, which has been great. Now I get to carry 2 more. So super, super excited about that. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to cut away from here and we're going to start putting that BlackPak together on film. So come with me as we put this thing together and get it fitted into the kayak. All right, back here, we're gonna get this all together. So first things first, I'm gonna get the tubes open, ready to go, and then we'll bust out the bad boy.
Sunrise painting the sky with fire, the water calm my only desire. Rod in hand, the thrill is near. Tournament day, the time is here. The paddle cuts through the morning glass, chasing dreams that the hours won't pass. A silent prayer as the reel starts to hum. A battle begins as the big ones come. Oh, the joy of the chase, the thrill of the fight, gliding on the water till day turns to night. Every cast holds a story untold, kayak fishing where the heart beats bold. Whispers of wind and the splash of a cast, moments like these, they're made to last. The leaderboard calls, can't stay too long. Each fish a verse in this angler's song. The kayak sways, the adrenaline flows. Tug on the line and the mystery grows. Will it be the one to take the crown? Every second counts as the sun goes down. Oh, the joy of the chase, the thrill of the fight, gliding on the water till day turns to night. Every cast holds a story untold, kayak fishing where the heart beats bold. With every paddle stroke I feel alive, competing with the best I'll strive. Through the sweat and cheers we're all the same, bound by the water and the love of the game. When nears, the tales are shared, the moments of victory, the battles declared. Win or lose, it's not just a race, it's the spirit of the water, the joy we embrace. Oh, the joy of the chase, the thrill of the fight, gliding on the water till day turns to night. Every cast holds a story untold, kayak fishing where the heart beats bold. So here's to the anglers who dare to dream to the lakes, the rivers and the flowing streams, paddling for glory beneath the sun's glow. In a kayak tournament where the best stories grow.
So the next step is for me to install the hinges on the lid to figure out which way I want it to open. But to do that, I really need to put this in the kayak and really configure how I really want it, the lid to open when it's inside there, and how the rod holders are going to go on. So we're going to take a quick little tactical pause, get the kayak in the truck, change camera, and we'll get ready to go. All right. So I got the yak in the boat, put the box in here. So now I just kind of got to figure out lid configuration, right? So the chances are I'm going to put my rods, I'm going to try to put 4 rods on each side. So ideally I would want the hinge here. But before I get to that part, let's see about these rod holders, see how many I could put on each side. So that way, I don't want to, this is the way I'm probably going to lift the lid. Just saying. Like, I don't think I'm going to go to the side. I think I want to go straight back. I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to put the rod holders on first before I decide kind of where I want to put the hinge. So let's get the rod holders on here, positioned to see. I think I got this pretty evenly spaced to where I want it in the yak. So let's get the rod holders on, see where the rod holders are going to sit, and then I'll worry about the hinge later. So I'm going to go in a little bit different order than what the instruction said. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put 2 rod tubes here, 2 rod tubes here to make sure that the spacing's right so I can get this to fit where it needs to be. I'm going to put the hinges here so the lid will flip up. But before I even try to do that, I want to make sure I could get 4 rod holders on each side and I don't have to put any back here in the back. So that's what I'm going to work on next, is the rod tubes and get them all set up. So we're going to do that and I'll be right back after. Alright, so the Old Town Predator PDL's back tank well is pretty small. So it's really long, but it's not very wide. Old Town, if you're listening, I know in the newer models you've widened this to help this out. So with that being said, so I had to raise my rod holders in the in the BlackPak, so they're actually up a little higher. You can fit 3 on the 16 each side. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the lid. So I'm going to get the lid in. I'm going to install 2 more rod holders on the back side, the side that's like this on the back side, so that way I can lift the lid as such. So there we go. Alright guys, so as you can see, I got the rod holders in. I got the lid on. I don't have the lid completely. I still got to do the latches in the front and figure out where I'm going to put the handles to carry this thing. I got all 8 rod holders on. The lid opens up just nice. Doesn't get in the way of anything. So it is all good. I am very happy. All right, I'm going to finish the finishing touches and then I will see you back in the tackle room for some of my final thoughts on the BlackPak Pro, putting it together, and some things you might need to consider when you do it yourself. All right, I've made it back in the tackle room. I've completed the build outside, so let's see the finished product of that BlackPak Pro that I just built. All right, guys, here it is. Handles are on, the clips are on, that locks it down so the lid doesn't come off. I got 3 rod holders on this side, 3 rod holders on this side, and then on the back side I have those 2 diagonal rod holders. So I'm really happy how this turned out. So let's talk through some of the lessons that I learned when I was building this thing. So lesson number 1, yes, there is a lot of screws, but if you follow the directions that are given, which I know for some of us it's hard to do, because you see I did that once and I had to backtrack. Follow the directions, step by step, and the build will go well. Now, the lesson number 2 that I learned is not all tank wells are built the same. I knew that in my Old Town Predator that I have a very narrow tank well. It's really long, but it's narrow. So that's why I went with a 13 by 16. So once I had everything together, I needed to put it in the tank well to see how I needed to put those rod holders in. So working through all that, what I learned is I had to take the rod holders and move them up. So instead of being flush down, I had to move them up on the BlackPak Pro. And then once I did that on the sides, it just slid in perfect into the tank well. It's not going to hurt anything. I actually had all the rods in there, and like you've seen in that clip a little bit ago, they all fit perfect and it just looks amazing. So make sure when you put it in your tank well, then configure your rods, where you're going to need them, how they're going to fit in, how you're going to be able to reach back and grab them. Then put your rod tubes on there and you'll be good to go. Guys, it was a fun build. It was a long build. I had a couple things come up as I was putting it together, but it was fun. I'm glad you guys got to come along on the journey as I was putting this together. So comment down below, do you have a BlackPak Pro, or do you still using a milk crate? What are you guys running in your kayaks? And if you do have a BlackPak Pro and you have it, what were some of the lessons that you may have learned when you were putting it together? Alright guys, thank you so much for watching and coming along with me. And as always, if you can, get out and fish and catch some bass. Alright, until next time.